Show of hands, how many of us are on a tight budget? All of you? Well, let's talk about free-to-play games. Free-to-play games compose a subset of video games that often come under a lot of scrutiny, and in many cases this scrutiny and criticism is more than founded, especially when you consider some of the unsavory business tactics of these companies that release these games. And really, honestly, more often than not, free-to-play is actually a mislabel. Free-to-play sounds like a pretty good deal. Its self-explaining term should be any gamer on a budget's soggy dream come true. But more often than not, these games are designed to milk cash out of their players. Honestly, I feel like the mobile market is the biggest offender at this. Games like Clash of Clans are insanely popular, and you'll start out really enjoying the game, but before you know it, the progress in the game has slowed to little more than a stop. Unless, of course, you come out of pocket. But amidst the hundreds, maybe even thousands of sneaky money siphons that there are some games that are genuinely fun that you can go play and enjoy without ever spending a single dime. If you're looking for a game to just fill a little bit of time or help you unwind after a long day of work, or maybe you can only commit a few hours on your weekend to them, I think I just might have some games that might interest you. In the past, I've made it clear that I dislike the Super Smash Bros. Games. I find them to be far too chaotic for my taste, but I'm more than likely in the minority. That being said, Brawlhalla is a free-to-play arena fighting game. The game includes several game modes, most notably is possibly the free-for-all mode. It is exactly what it sounds like. 4 players knocking one another around an arena, each one vying to be the last man standing. Beautifully drawn and colored sprites grace the screen in chaotic melee that drives me bonkers. Much like the Smash Bros. Titles, power-ups and weapons are dropped into the arena to help assist you in the carnage. In its basic mode, you get 6 characters to choose from. These characters cycle out on a regular basis to allow you to play as some of the other characters. If you're willing to drop some money, you can unlock all the characters and gain some in-game currency. But in all honesty, it's not necessary. Fighters rotate often enough to allow you to get a feel for the other fighters. If Arena Fighters is your thing, I really feel like you will enjoy Brawlhalla. Best of all, you can enjoy it without ever spending a dime. Robocraft is described as a build, drive, fight game. Players can build robots from supplied components. Players are rewarded for daily logins with crates. These crates can vary from a rusted crate to a protonium crate. The contents of these crates may be parts or robots. Robots are the in-game currency that can be used to forge robot parts. Robots can be purchased with real-world money. You can also use real-world money to purchase a premium membership. The premium membership doubles the XP earning rate as well as increasing the amount of the parts in a crate. But the point here is that you can earn currency and attain parts without ever spending any money. You can also have a lot of fun building robots and fighting them with the supplied parts. There are several game types available, including some custom game modes. Most are variations of your run-of-the-mill deathmatch. All are enjoyable. There is even a mode that allows you to build a robot and test it against computer-controlled opponents. I have only been playing Robocraft for a short time, but it is quickly becoming my go-to time waster. Most folks have at least heard of the arena shooter. Games like Quake 3 Arena and Unreal Tournament paved the way for the modern icons of the game such as Overwatch and the free-to-play sensation Team Fortress 2. But as fun as these are, sometimes the science fiction theme wears thin, and a gamer just wants to experience something a little more gritty, something with the taste of the Old West. Fistful of Frags is a Wild West themed arena shooter built on the Half-Life 2 engine, just like Team Fortress 2. There are a few game modes that are standard fare for this type of shooter, but I find that I enjoy the team deathmatch the most. This is probably because I'm terrible at these games and rely on my teammates to drag me through to victory. You'll start your game off by selecting your primary and secondary weapons. You'll then choose your side and prepare yourself for the fight. In-game, you'll come across color-coded chests that will contain new weapons to swap to. There is a risk though. When opening a chest, you must stand at the chest holding the action key. This leaves you completely vulnerable to attack. Many times you will attain your new sidearm only to be killed and have the weapon taken by an enemy. I truly feel that Fistful of Frags deserves much more attention, and I think you are the perfect candidate to go give it that attention. Those that know me know that I'm a big fan of the collectible card game Magic the Gathering, and there went the dip in my viewer retention. I had tried out Magic Duels, but I was less than impressed, and I didn't want to shell out the dough to play Magic the Gathering online, so I decided to try out Hearthstone, and I must say it is great. The interface is simple, the gameplay is accessible, and while Hearthstone doesn't come across as mentally engaging as Magic, you may find yourself pleasantly surprised. Gameplay is simple, you draw cards, then cast cards, drawing from the mana pool that you earned each turn. Just like any other card game, cards bestow various effects on both players and cards. You then attack. Attacks can be directed toward the other player or creatures on the battlefield. Choose wisely. Opting to hit a player and leave creatures on the battlefield can be detrimental to a match. Well, sometimes it can. I cannot reiterate enough the accessibility of this game. It really is a game that anyone can play, and they can do it free of charge. Finally, we come to my favorite free-to-play game, Warframe. Warframe is a cooperative third-person shooter, rumored to be connected in some way to Dark Sector. Warframe allows you, the player, to control a member of the Tenno. The Tenno are a race of warriors that have awakened from cryostasis to take on the Grineer, the Corpus, the Infested, and the Sentients. Tennos are deployed in a biomechanical armor, something in the vein of the Guyver. This armor essentially turns your Tenno into a super ninja warrior. You can choose to play PvE or PvP. To play player versus player, you will need to head to a conclave. Fortunately, the conclave will limit players that you are matched up against with those of a similar level. That way, you aren't completely overpowered. But if you're like me, you prefer player versus enemy. From your dropship, you will choose the next mission you want to tackle, and depending on what update is active, you may gain access to previously unavailable missions. You'll play through the mission and level up your chosen weapons and armor. Leveling up enough will sometimes open up the availability of new weapons. If you so desire, you can pay for Prime Access, which gains you access to a select weapon set, as well as discounted rates for Platinum. Platinum is the in-game currency, and in all likelihood, is the primary money source for the game. If you want to buy premium weapons or loadouts, you will need Platinum. You never need to actually buy anything to play the game, and in all honesty, you'll probably still really enjoy it. If you do decide to spend money to buy Platinum, there are often specials where you will have the opportunity to purchase Platinum at discounted rates. I love the game, and I think it's worth checking out. Well guys, those are some free-to-play games that I think are worth trying out. And you know what? You'll never have to spend a dime to really enjoy them. Look, I know there are other games, maybe League of Legends, Dota 2. I didn't mention everything that is actually good in the free-to-play realm. Maybe you know some, and maybe you want to share in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this format. There's going to be plenty more just like this. Thanks for watching.